Bombshell confession. Hoda Kotb's stunning reason for quitting. Today Show exposed. Viewers were shocked when Hoda Kotb announced she would leave the Today Show last September. Her decision to end her remarkable 26-year career at NBC News caught everyone off guard. Even her staff couldn't believe the news when the beloved co-anchor made her announcement. The morning television institution said goodbye to Hoda during her emotional final broadcast on January 10th. Her daughter Hope's diabetes diagnosis was one of the most important factors that led to this life-changing decision. She walked away from a position that earned her over $20 million each year. On top of that, she has plans for new ventures, including a possible wellness-focused smartphone app. Hoda seems ready for a new chapter in her life. "I feel like we only have a finite amount of time," she explained. Hoda Kotb announces emotional exit from Today Show. Millions of loyal viewers were stunned on September 26, 2023, as Hoda Kotb made a tearful announcement about leaving the Today Show after 17 years. Her co-hosts, Savannah Guthrie, Al Roker, Jenna Bush Hager, and Craig Melvin, surrounded her as she revealed her plans to leave the morning program in early 2025. "I just turned 60, Hoda shared during her emotional announcement. "And it was such a monumental moment for me when I turned 60 years old, because I started thinking about that decade. Like, what does that decade mean? What does it hold? And what's it going to have for me?" Hoda's milestone birthday celebration at Rockefeller Plaza became her moment of clarity. "I remember standing outside looking at this beautiful bunch of people with all of these gorgeous signs, and I thought, like, this is what the top of the wave feels like for me. And I thought, it can't get better," she reflected. This realization convinced her to turn the page at 60 and try something new. Her decision came after careful consideration. She described her transition as repotting herself, pulling up by the roots to find more fertile ground elsewhere. You know, when you pull yourself up by the roots and you're kind of dangling and you're like, "Oh my God, what am I doing? What's happening?" But you know you're going to land kind of in fertile ground, she told Jimmy Fallon during an October appearance on The Tonight Show. Her daughters played the most important role in her decision. "Obviously, I had my kiddos late in life, and I was thinking that they deserve a bigger piece of my time pie that I have. I feel like we only have a finite amount of time," she explained. "They need a little more of me, and I need more of them." Her co-hosts' emotional reactions highlighted their deep connection. Savannah Guthrie fought back tears and said, "When you look around and see these tears, they're love. You are so loved. And honestly, I don't think any of us can imagine. We don't want to imagine this place without you." Hoda's final farewell to the Today Show audience came on January 10th, 2024. The emotional broadcast featured tributes and surprises, yet she chose to frame her departure as a love letter to viewers. "This is not a goodbye letter. This is a love letter to you," she expressed on her final Today with Hoda and Jenna broadcast. It's actually kind of a thank you note as well. So how do I say it? How do I say thank you for more hugs and more love than one person deserves? Jenna Bush Hager's heartfelt tribute included a letter about their 6 years together. "You have taught me to really look into the eyes and the hearts of our guests and listen how to really listen," Jenna said. "And now, my dearest, you are teaching us the most important lesson of all, how to say goodbye with grace." Al Roker praised Hoda's exceptional character. "I think everything she does, she guides with her heart. Probably one of the most selfless people I know. Craig Melvin added, "You've been the heart of this show for a long time, and there's no replacing that." Hoda reflected on her experience from being a hard news person on Dateline to her unmatched experience co-hosting with Kathy Lee Gifford. 16 years ago, I sat next to Kathy Lee, and she changed my life, Hoda reminisced. She chose me. And truth be told, I was scared. I had never done anything like this before. Her final show included special moments with Kermit the Frog, surprising her with the Rainbow Connection. She left in style, driving away with her daughters in the back seat and a just repotted sign on the bumper. Hoda will stay connected to the NBC family in some capacity. She has shown interest in wellness ventures and plans to contribute to Olympics coverage in Milan and Los Angeles in 2026 and 2028, respectively. Hoda shares heartfelt farewell with fans and colleagues. Hoda Kotb's last day on the Today Show turned into an emotional celebration with tributes, surprises, and tears. The January 10th broadcast became a Hodabration, where colleagues and celebrities showed their love for the cherished host who touched so many lives during her 17-year run. Tributes from Jenna Bush, Hager, and celebrity guests. Jenna Bush, Hager Hoda's co-host of 5 years, couldn't hold back her emotions throughout the farewell episode. "This is brought to you by Kleenex," she joked as they started their final Today with Hoda and Jenna broadcast. She read a heartfelt letter that captured their amazing time together. 5 years more than 500 shows, 90,000 hours, 9,000 commercial breaks filled with Shabuzi Beyonce and constant laughter and soul-affirming conversations. Jenna remembered their adventures from Vegas to NOLA, 3 times from Austin to Quebec, and shared moments through a global pandemic, 2 maternity leaves, 5 children. Jenna spoke about Hoda's influence on her career, saying, "You have taught me to really look into the eyes and the hearts of our guests and listen. How to really listen." Her most touching words came last, "And now, my dearest, you are teaching us the most important lesson of all, how to say goodbye with grace." Savannah Guthrie gave Hoda special gifts, a bracelet with you, and a ring saying love. Savannah's film tribute noted, "Hoda reaches across with her eyes and her heart. People see someone who cares. She loves people. She's the ultimate people person." Al Roker shared memories of their 20-year friendship through a video compilation. He wrote, "I have known at Hoda Kotb for more than 20 years, and she has the biggest heart and guides with it every day." Craig Melvin, Hoda's successor as Today co-anchor, called her the definition of compassion love and has been the heartbeat of At Today Show. Jimmy Fallon, Gayle King, and Kathy Lee Gifford made surprise appearances to celebrate. Messages poured in from stars who couldn't be there, including Jamie Lee Curtis, who sent a special orb with "Every Today with You is a Better Day," and Oprah Winfrey, who assured Hoda she'd made the right choice. Kermit the Frog's surprise serenade. The most touching moment happened when Kermit the Frog appeared to sing Rainbow Connection, Hoda's nightly song to her daughters that she played on her way to work that morning. Hoda sat on Studio 1A's iconic white couch with her daughters Haley 8 and Hope 5 when Kermit popped up behind them, saying, "Hi-ho, Hoda. Hi, how are you? It's me, Kermit the Frog." The girls beamed. Haley watched intently, while Hope smiled wide. Kermit told Hoda, "You truly do make every day as beautiful as a rainbow," before his performance. She wrapped her arm around Hope and held Haley's hand as the banjo started. She sang along through tears at times. The Today co-hosts joined for the final chorus. "That was extraordinary," Hoda told Kermit afterward. I want to say thank you for that. I love you. I love that song. I love everything about it. Hoda's final thank you note on air. Hoda read her heartfelt goodbye message to viewers in her final moments. This is not a goodbye letter. This is a love letter. A love letter to you, she started. It's actually kind of a thank you note as well. So how do I say it? How do I say thank you for more hugs and more love than one person deserves? She looked back at her path from a hard news person at Dateline to her life-changing time with Kathy Lee Gifford. 16 years ago, I sat next to Kathy Lee and she changed my life. She chose me. And truth be told, I was scared. I had never done anything like this before. I was a hard news person, a Dateline person. And then one day she called me Hoda Woman. I ripped off that news corset. We poured ourselves a glass of wine. And so it began. Hoda thanked the viewers for supporting her motherhood story. It went from Hoda Woman to Hoda Mama when Haley was born. I held Haley and you held me. You supported me, the cards, the comments, the letters. I read them all, and then Hopi came too. The broadcast ended with Hoda driving away in her white minivan, her daughters in the back seat, and tin cans tied to the bumper wedding style marking her new chapter focused on family and personal joy. Why Hoda Kotb decided to leave the Today Show. Hoda Kotb's choice to step away from her coveted Today Show position stems from a personal experience of self-reflection and shifting priorities. Viewers asked, is Hoda leaving the Today Show? And what happened to Hoda Kotb? And the beloved anchor has been open about her reasons to make this life-altering career move. Turning 60 sparked a reevaluation of priorities. Hoda's 60th birthday in August 2023 became the turning point that led to her Today Show departure. I realized that it was time to turn the page at 60 and to try something new, she said during her emotional announcement. This milestone birthday made her think about what she wanted from the next decade of her life. NBC's birthday celebration at Rockefeller Plaza brought clarity to Hoda. She had an eye-opening moment as she looked at the crowd holding signs. I remembered standing outside looking at this beautiful bunch of people with all these gorgeous signs. And I thought, this is what the top of the wave feels like for me. And I thought, it can't get better, she reflected. This moment convinced her the time was right to start a new chapter. Hoda called this transition a monumental moment that shaped her vision of the future. I think when I look back on my 60s 10 years from now, it's going to be filled with new adventures. A brand new, like working my entrepreneurial skills, hopefully, and also watching my kids take baby steps. And that's it, she shared. Desire to give more time to her daughters. Her daughters became the driving force behind Hoda's decision. Haley Joy, 7, and Hope Catherine, 5, whom she adopted later in life, needed more of her attention. Obviously, I had my kiddos late in life, and I was thinking that they deserve a bigger piece of my time pie that I have, she explained. She echoed this in her letter to the Today Show staff. My broadcast career has been beyond meaningful. A new decade of my life lies ahead, and now my daughters and my mom need and deserve a bigger slice of my time pie. Life after the show has given Hoda a new rhythm with her children. I want my kids to have more of my pie, she emphasized. The morning TV schedule forced her to wake up at 3:15 a.m., making it hard to be there for her daughters. 5 months later, she found herself relishing the amount of time she has for her daughters. Hoda's mornings look different now. She wakes at 4:30 a.m., which she calls sleeping in after years of earlier starts, then meditates and writes in her journal before her daughters wake up. She can now take part in school drop-offs and daily activities with her children without rushing. Her daughter's presence brings her joy in simple ways. Sometimes I'm right there working in my office, and they'll run up to the window and wave to me and throw up a heart with their hands. They're fine because they want me to be here. They're just happy to see me. And then they'll go off and play, she shared. These small moments mean everything to her. Bedtime has become special too. At night, with no more call times, the girls cuddle up on either side of Kotb in bed, she revealed. I sleep in the middle, so there's no rolling over, and it is not my favorite sleeping position. But when I wake up and they're both nuzzled into me, I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh, look at me. I get to lay here with these two kids, and all they want to do is be as close to me as they can get. Hoda's Today Show Exit shows how she values time and priorities. She put it simply, yet powerfully. I feel like we only have a finite amount of time. Hope's health condition adds urgency to Hoda's decision. Hoda Kotb's decision to leave the Today Show came down to some deeply personal reasons. Her daughter Hope's health turned out to be the most important factor. The news about Hope's medical challenges made Hoda rethink her career path quickly. Hope's type 1 diabetes diagnosis. Hope, Catherine Hoda's younger daughter, got life-changing news in early 2023. At just 3 years old, doctors diagnosed her with type 1 diabetes. This autoimmune condition stops the body from making insulin and needs constant care. The diagnosis hit Hoda hard and changed her family's life completely. When your child has a medical condition that requires 24/7 attention, everything else in your life gets reevaluated, Hoda shared in a candid interview after leaving the show. She started thinking hard about her future at NBC right after the diagnosis, which pushed her toward her final decision. Taking care of Hope's condition means checking blood sugar levels all the time, giving insulin shots, and planning meals carefully. These medical tasks are extra tough for a toddler who can't understand why they're needed or do them alone. The demands of Hope's health made it hard for Hoda to keep up with her high-profile job. She had to leave home by 4:30 a.m. for the Today Show, which meant missing critical morning hours when Hope needed careful monitoring after nighttime blood sugar changes. 24/7 care, an emotional toll on the family. Parents who care for kids with type 1 diabetes stay alert around the clock. They check blood sugar levels at night, count carbs in every meal, and adjust insulin doses constantly. There are no breaks with type 1, Hoda shared. Even sleep becomes interrupted by alarms from continuous glucose monitors. I found myself mentally divided between work responsibilities and worrying about Hope's numbers. The emotional weight goes beyond daily tasks. Hoda talked about feeling overwhelmed with fear, especially right after the diagnosis. Every high or low blood sugar reading felt like a crisis. I kept thinking, what if something happens while I'm on air? Her constant worry affected her work performance. People at work noticed her checking her phone between segments, more often waiting anxiously for updates from home. Small signs showed her stress, getting distracted during interviews or looking relieved after good news about Hope. The whole family had to adjust to Hope's diagnosis. Haley, Hoda's older daughter, learned about diabetes at a young age and saw her sister getting extra attention. Hoda struggled to give both daughters what they needed, while handling her demanding career. I started to realize that no matter how supportive NBC was, and they were incredibly understanding, the structure of morning television simply couldn't accommodate the flexibility my family situation required, Hoda explained. When Hope has a rough night with her blood sugar, she needs her mom there in the morning, not rushing out before dawn. Hope's health ended up being the deciding factor for Hoda. Her 60th birthday made her think about changes, and she wanted to spend more time with both daughters. Hope's diabetes diagnosis added medical urgency that made her priorities crystal clear. Hoda clarifies her daughter is not the only reason. Hope's health condition played a major role in Hoda Kotb's departure from the Today Show. Yet she has made it clear that her daughter's diagnosis wasn't the only reason behind her life-changing decision. Balancing motherhood and career, Hoda struggled with the impossible task of excelling both as a professional and as a mother. There's the guilt you carry because you can't be 100% at work and 100% at home, Hoda explained in a revealing interview with People magazine. Something has to give if you want excellence. If you're going to be excellent at work, something has to give at home. And if you want to be excellent at home, I mean excellent, and do all the things, something has to give at work. It can't be equal. Her demanding schedule meant missing key moments in her daughter's lives. My daughter had something today at school that I missed, she once shared on air. And I was thinking about that missing things because I have missed things. Because our shift is so weird and they do all the things in the morning. Years of waking up at 3:15 a.m. left Hoda exhausted for morning activities with her children. She now cherishes the moments she once missed. I got to see Haley sing "What a Wonderful World" at 9:15 a.m. I would have missed that. I used to think life was the big things, but it really is all the stuff that happens in between. Avoiding guilt, narrative for her children. Hoda wanted to make sure her daughter never blamed herself for ending her mother's career. I would never ever want Hope to one day grow up and say, "Oh, my mom left her job because of me." Hoda emphasized firmly, it wasn't that alone. But if you look at it cumulatively, it was a part of that decision. She also wants Hope to know that diabetes is just one part of who she is. She is a happy, healthy, rambunctious, amazing kid, and we have to watch her. Diabetes is a part of her, but not all of her. I hope it shapes her, but never defines her. Psychotherapist Esther Perel's advice helped shape Hoda's point of view on working motherhood. You don't need to be at every single thing. When you're with them, make wonderful memories, she recalled Perel advising. Your kids don't remember where you're not there, but they will remember when you make a point to be present. Yes, it is a situation that working parents face every day, balancing career dreams with family needs while trying to avoid guilt about inevitable trade-offs. Hoda embraces a slower, more intentional lifestyle. Hoda Kotb's life took a new direction after she stepped away from her role at the Today Show. She now enjoys a calmer lifestyle that centers on being present and mindful. Her transformation from a TV personality to a suburban mom has changed how she plans her days and manages her time. Morning routines and school drop-offs. The days of waking up at 3 a.m. are behind her. Hoda now sees 4:30 a.m. as sleeping in. She keeps parts of her old morning routine alive by waking up early to have some quiet time before her daughters get up. I do 20 minutes of meditation, and I do some writing in my journal, and I do a spirit check. Like, what does my spirit need today? What does my body need today? Gone are her rushed mornings. Hoda now cherishes simple parenting moments, especially walking her daughters to school. School drop, let's go, she wrote on photos showing this daily ritual. These walks let her catch precious moments, like Hope's cheerful skip into school that made Al Roker comment, "It's the skip for me." Rediscovering joy in everyday moments. Unhurried has become Hoda's guiding light as she directs her new chapter. Her move from city to suburban life includes setting up an office for her Joy 101 venture in town, right across from a sandwich shop. Her daughters feel their mom's increased presence deeply. The very first day when I was home, Haley ran down the stairs. Hoda remembers. I was working in my office just scribbling and thinking about life because I couldn't sleep. And she goes, "Oh, you really are here." Tears welled up in Hoda's eyes at this moment. Calm Mom is what her daughters call her now, a nickname that stuck as she started her wellness journey. I think we all want someone just to bear witness to our lives, and I think we're too busy, often all of us. She shared feeling thankful for the gift of being able to slow it down a little and see everything in slow motion. Hoda launches new wellness venture Joy 101. Hoda Kotb launched Joy 101, a complete wellness platform 5 months after leaving the Today Show. She calls it a retreat in your pocket. This new venture answers her fans' questions about her professional direction after television, plans for an app, events, and newsletter. Joy 101 goes beyond digital content. The app stands as its centerpiece, offering individual-specific wellness programs at $16.99 monthly or $99 annually. Users will find over 500 sessions about wellness topics of all types at launch. The platform creates a joy plan that matches each user's needs based on simple information such as age and wellness goals. Hoda will host regular happiness hours, live Zoom gatherings starting June 11th with her former colleagues, Savannah Guthrie and Jenna Bush Hager. The platform's expansion continues with in-person retreats beginning fall 2025, and a major event called JoyFest will follow in spring 2026. A subscription newsletter, online courses, and guided practices strengthen the Joy 101 community. The offerings feature an abridged version of Susie Welch's NYU course, Becoming You. Inspiration from friends and personal growth. Hoda's wellness experience started with doubt. I have to admit, I thought a lot of this stuff was real weird. I thought breathwork was woo-woo. I thought people who meditated just had free time, she admitted. Bush Hager's suggestion about trying breathwork sparked her transformation. Hoda initially resisted, saying, "Girl, I have been breathing a lot longer than you've been alive." But she eventually joined a Zoom session that changed everything. She remembered her first experience vividly. After 7 minutes, I exploded in tears. I was sobbing. Mary Shriver's recommendation led Hoda to the Hoffman Institute retreat, which she describes as more life-changing than anything else I'd ever done. The platform benefits from an impressive advisory group called the Joy Collective. This team includes happiness expert Professor Arthur Brooks, entrepreneur Emma Greedy Magnolia co-founder Joanna Gaines, and neuroscientist Dr. Wendy Suzuki. Hoda's sisters joined the business too. Karen as Senior Vice President of Strategic Operations, and Hala as Senior Vice President of Planning and Events. Hoda measures success simply. For me, success is we're making people feel better. NBC's shifting priorities and salary cuts play a role. While Hoda Kotb's departure was framed as a heartfelt personal choice, a repotting driven by a milestone birthday and a deep desire to be present for her daughters, the undercurrent of NBC's shifting priorities and reported salary cuts paints a more complete picture. This wasn't just a single event, but a perfect convergence of circumstances: a mother's urgent need to care for her child, a woman's desire for a new chapter after 60, and a network likely welcoming an opportunity to trim a multi-million-dollar salary from its budget. Hoda's exit therefore becomes less of a simple resignation and more of a masterclass in leaving at the top on one's own terms. She has traded the relentless glare of the studio lights for the quiet glow of family life and the entrepreneurial fire of her new wellness venture, Joy 101. Ultimately, Hoda Kotb's story is a powerful testament to redefining success, proving that the most valuable prime time is not what's on television, but the unscripted precious moments found at home.